It all started by going to buy a quarter horse for my kids for Christmas, which I had said no to. And a friend of mine had a horse she wanted to get rid of, and I went to look at it one night before Christmas, and out of the corner of my eye I saw these Clydesdales. And so I asked if I could go see them, and they were her neighbors, and they took me down to see them, and I ended up buying them. So Christmas morning, the guy we bought them from, he delivered them to my grandpa's house as a surprise for my dad and my grandpa. And they were shocked. My grandpa cried. He said it was the best Christmas present he'd ever had at 80 years old. And my dad was surprised too. He said he'd always wanted a Clydesdale. And we took on the responsibility of taking care of them. I didn't want to put that burden on them. I told them right up front, I said, we'll take care of them. We'll keep them at our house. We'll feed them. We'll do everything they need. And you can just enjoy them. So that was the plan, was just to have them for them to enjoy. And then the guy that we bought them from, he said, well, if you're going to have them, I'd like for you to learn how to drive them, because that's really what they're meant to do. So I went over each week and he taught me how to drive them. From that point, I thought, well, we could let the communities that we serve also enjoy them, and then we started to put piece by piece together, and we found a wagon, and we found harness, and we put a hitch together to start driving them, and had our own wagon that we could drive them here. Just because one guy believed in me and taught me how to drive them, after about 6 months, we decided to hitch them up and have them in the Country Days Parade in June. My husband's name is Cody, and he helps take care of them. He does a lot to help. He helps feed morning and night, and he helps with everything. He helps when we hitch them up to practice drive, and just anything that needs to be done with them. I have 2 kids, Carson and Carly. Carson's 13 and Carly's 10, and it's something we do as a family to take care of the Clydesdales. Carson, he's learned to drive them, and he also rides them. And Carly also helps with them with anything that they need, as far as wiping down the wagon, or she rides with me a lot. They're wonderful. They're loyal. They'll do anything you ask them to do. I mean, you feed them morning and night, but they're waiting for you. I mean, they're the most gentle creatures I've ever been around. They're so huge, and I'm not a very big person, but they're giant, but they would never ever hurt you. And they'll do anything you ask them to do. My kids say I treat them just like I treat my own kids, and I hope that's very, very good, or I hope they think it's good. But I pick on my kids and say that they listen better than they do to me. But the Clydesdales will, if you ask them to do something, they will do it. If you ask them to step back, they step back. If you ask them to step forward, they'll step forward. They're just very, very loyal creatures. I mean, they're loving, they love kids. They're very relaxing to be around. The way I feel about these horses is just hard to explain. They're just members of our family, and they just bring such joy to our lives, to our whole family, and they're just a great joy to us. I think I made a really good choice by purchasing these Clydesdales.